Clara. Still Clara. Got a side of goal! Oh, what a goal from Ray Clara!
Steps past Toure, but not past Zambrana. Given straight to Paul Scholes! What about that? What about that?
I don't know what to do with my hands. Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Factor 50 Football Podcast with me, Michael Grantham, and my co-host, Adam Josephine Farrell.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Should we talk about why we started this podcast?
Probably a good idea, but
Yeah.
our mom's listening.
My mom's definitely not listening.
There's no way anyone I know is going to listen to this podcast.
At time of recording, only one of our friends has followed us on Instagram.
Plus each other.
Yeah, of course, yeah. We followed our own podcast, of course.
Obviously.
And by the end of this recording, that one friend who has followed it,
he will have gone.
yeah, he's out.
Shout out, Coxie. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you might not be able to tell because if you are watching this on YouTube, but Mike used to be ginger before he went bald.
Now I'm shiny.
You're very shiny now. I'm still rocking the ginger hair with, fantastic hairline.
Congratulations. Mine's migrated down here, so
You have got a far better beard than I can ever grow. So there we go.
I do need a shave, actually. It's a bit unruly. I look a little bit homeless at the moment.
Oh, it's okay. It's 1-1. So Mike's a Arsenal fan. He's got the
Of course. For the
And
YouTube
I'm a-
watchers.
Manchester United fan for my
Tragic.
sons.
So one of us is having a much better time of it at the moment than the other one.
Yeah. It's been awful so far. So this is just an excuse, isn't it? Just for us to have a chinwag. Because
It's basically like football therapy, isn't it? Because we used to be able to sit in a pub, share a beer and talk about football, and now we can't do that because we've got young families and busy jobs, and we both run our own business as well. So that's mainly the reason why we've got the flexibility to do it.
business. Yeah. Big business. And if any of you are listening who are thinking about having a family, don't. It's not worth it.
Hang on, can you say that again? Actually, we're recording this, aren't we? So put that in the best man speech.
I hope we are recording this. But yeah, there we go.
Are you recording?
Yeah. It is recording.
Good.
There's a big red dot.
Yeah.
We can try and do it weekly, aren't we? I think, if we can.
I think once a week as a roundup of the last game week or match week in the Premier League, focusing on the Arsenal and the United games. Obviously, they're the important ones, and then a bit of a prediction to the following week and the following matches, and maybe we'll cover relevant topics like the Ballon d'Or, for example. I think we're going to touch on, aren't we, today?
Yeah.
But being the first episode, I don't know about you, Farrell, a lot of the podcasts I listen to are always scared of nailing their colours to a mast and putting their neck on the line and making some predictions. So I think we should share our main winners, top 4 relegated, top scorers. And we added a twist. I think we're going to put in, I've asked Gemini or one of those AI, one of those technology things to do their own prediction, and then we can compare in a year's time who's right and who's wrong, or who gets more right.
Yeah. Who's right? The humans or AI?
The clever humans or the stupid computers?
Yeah. And we'll do some predictions and we'll piss off anybody who tries to listen to this podcast straight away.
Definitely. We will alienate every fan base, including our own, probably.
It's a good start. Start. Okay. You take it away then, Mike. What's the first prediction?
So the first category is straightforward, title winner. And my prediction is Arsenal.
Oh,
surprise!
Even now. So we're recording this when it's, how many games have happened? 5?
We are 5 games into the Premier League season. So we've got a little bit of it's a slight cheat, isn't it? We've got a little bit of a head start. But it's still early. There's lots of new signings we haven't played yet. And, it's early in the season. So my prediction, regardless of the start, regardless of the Man City result, is Arsenal. So should I justify that?
Do you really believe that, though?
I never predict Arsenal to win the league, and this season I am, and I'm still pretty confident we're going to win the league.
5 points behind.
It's only 5 points. It's 2 games, mate, isn't it? It's 2 games
Already.
Yeah, 5 games in. But so my justification for that, ignoring what's already happened this season, is our biggest issue last season was squad depth, and like we've addressed every position in the squad in the transfer market. So like you look at the bench last season, especially the second half of the season after all the injuries, because that's why we didn't win the league last year. And the bench was, I mean, we had Sterling, who can't run anymore. We had like Kieran Tierney was coming off on at left wing. As much as I love Kieran Tierney, and I'm very sad he left. We had defensive midfielders and left backs basically on the bench, and then a couple of like academy kids. And now, if you look at the bench against City, for example, I mean, there's an argument that can be made for our bench against City being better than the starting 11. A lot of those players. So I just think squad depth is going to get us there. That's my prediction. Who have you gone for then?
Well, mine's
United.
No, I bloody wish. I don't think I've got United in any of these predictions. Liverpool are going to win it. They've got. We talk about squad depth. Liverpool have got the squad depth apart from centre back, right?
What about defensive midfield though, as well?
They've got players who I think are, can play in a lot of different positions. Like if you look at your Arsenal, right? So when you played against Man City, you basically played 3 defensive midfielders.
Marino's not a DM, but yeah, okay.
But you played him as a 10 because you were playing a longer ball and you can get and hold it up a bit more, right? And because you were basically hoping to play over the press of Man City. But Man City actually didn't press at all. And we'll get onto this a bit later, I think, as well with Pep. Like, played a back 5, which is insane. So
yeah.
I've gone for Liverpool. I don't think that's not a shock prediction.
Yeah, and to be fair, AI does agree with you. Liverpool is there. They're cool. The rest of your top 5. Who's making the Champions League?
I've gone Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Tottenham. And I think that's the order I think they'll finish in as well.
This is the first I've got the same order. But obviously Liverpool and Arsenal the other way around. So I've got Liverpool second, City, Chelsea, and I was the 5th one. I think is quite hard to pick this year, but I just think Thomas Frank is annoyingly good, and I'm really gutted that he's gone to Spurs. So I think he might get them to 5th.
He's really good. Yeah, really good. I really want Newcastle to do it because I think Eddie Howe, like one of the. I know Arsenal fans hate Newcastle, but I think Eddie Howe's one of the best managers in the Premier League.
Yeah.
What he's done at Newcastle. You forget where he was. Like, he took over. They were going to be relegated. Took over that team. And I know they spent a bit of money that summer. But since then, they haven't spent that much. And obviously lost their main striker in Isaac. I think the 2 strikers they signed are okay. That's the only problem. I don't think there's enough there to get them across the line.
I hope so. Although, actually, to be fair, if it's Newcastle or Spurs, it's like best of a bad lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
So we've agreed on that prediction. This one made me laugh. So AI have gone Arsenal second, City third, and then they couldn't decide 4th or 5th between Chelsea or United.
Way, go on, Gemini. Love it.
Jim Ratcliffe's been throwing bungs to AI.
AI's never wrong. That's amazing. So you're saying there's a chance we could finish 4th?
You're telling me there's a chance? AI is. That's what AI is saying. It's got Chelsea or United 4th or 5th. So,
well, after we beat Chelsea, 2-1. That's we're in the game.
You got to do it now. You got to do it.
We're in the game.
Mental. So that's a slightly left field prediction from AI. Next one, relegation candidates. Who have you got?
I think this one's more difficult because the promoted teams seem a bit better this year. Yeah. But I've gone Wolves, Burnley, Leeds to be relegated.
That is the same as me.
Really?
Again, yeah. AI, again, going with some left field decisions here. It's got Burnley, Sunderland, and Brentford. Brentford in the bottom 3. So they not much faith in Keith Andrews at Brentford.
And talk about Keith Andrews. So Keith Andrews was the set piece coach, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's now manager. It's mad, isn't it? But Brentford historically are quite a sensible club, aren't they? So you've got to think they've seen something there that's like worth taking a punt on.
Well, I heard something from a much a terrible podcast that you should not listen to. You should listen to this one. But I heard something from there. I'm not going to name them. That he was always earmarked to become the next manager.
Okay.
So it was almost like, okay, well, that's a natural successor. And I think, you look at the table, he's not done that well to start with. I think some of the performances have been better than the results. But, results game.
A lot of goals conceded. They conceded 10 goals. And yeah, I've just memorized. Oh, no, it's 10 goals. I've got the league table in front of me.
Yeah.
They've got the third worst record in the league for goals conceded. And Brentford under Thomas Frank were very organised, weren't they?
Yeah.
So,
they seem pretty reliant on that Damsgaard, don't they? Like if he plays, they seem to do
that. Yeah, he's their creator, isn't he? So a lot hinged on him. So there we go. AI are definitely sticking in out more than we are.
So far, we've not really disagreed too much, which makes for a really good podcast, doesn't it?
Thoroughly interesting. But listener, we must stress we didn't talk about these predictions beforehand, did we? No. So I don't know what you've picked. You don't know what I've picked. It's just that we're basically the same person.
Yeah.
Okay. Top scorer.
Have you gone Haaland?
Yes, I have gone. I did think about Salah. I just think age has got to catch up with him eventually. Like, he can't keep being this incredible, can he?
I think Salah's going to have a really bad season.
Do you?
Yeah. I think he is going to... He's got his big contract. I think he'll score the penalties and he'll score the odd goals, but I don't think he'll be a top goal scorer.
I heard a really good, interesting chain of thought about Salah in that. So Liverpool, knowing he's getting older, they've given him the big contract for this year, and they sort of know that there's a big money offer coming at the end of the season for Salah to go at the end of this year. And so they know that money's coming in, which is one of the reasons they've spent big now, because they know they're going to get 100 million from Saudi Arabia for Salah at the end of this season. So they've given him a big contract for 1 year, and then he's going to go off to Saudi and finish his career and earn 5 million quid a week.
That's exactly the sensible thing that Liverpool would do, wouldn't it? And
it's smart, isn't it? It's annoyingly clever.
Yeah, and Liverpool do seem to change their transfer strategy. Like they used to not buy the world's best stars; they'd buy the ones who were slightly under the radar, and then build them up into stars. But now they've got it here.
We'll have him and him and him.
Yeah,
all these massive names. But that forward line is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, even though I've got a prediction later, which I think will shock a few people.
Okay. Well, let's look forward to that. Top scorer for AI is Victor Gyökeres.
Oh,
which I think is an astute prediction.
This must be your AI is heard what you've put into AI and
it knows who I am. It's gone. Yeah. I reckon Big Vic's doing it for you. But I think he could. I don't think he will, because I think Haaland's just going to smash 30 goals. But he can beat up on the little teams very well. He's done that in Portugal. He's got the physical capability. His finishing is incredible. It's just whether or not he settles in and our play style suits him. Because at the moment he's not really getting a lot of service, and he's scored 3 goals. So if we can get him more chances, he will score goals. It's just whether we don't really play with that type of forward. So I don't see him getting 20 plus goals. But I don't think the reason I've gone Arsenal winning the league, I don't think we need 20 goals from him. 10 to 15 goals will do the job, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. Just to get across the line. I also think Haaland is actually, sounds silly to say, underrated. Underrated in Premier League and world football. It just becomes expected that he scores and is always top goal scorer. And if you look at, if anybody else was producing those numbers, it'd be like, oh my God, this person's incredible. And I actually think this year, he's not just scoring goals, he's actually involved in the play a lot more.
He's dropped deep a few times. City got their goal against us from him. A little ball, 5-yard pass around the corner.
The pace where he done Gabriel was unreal.
Yeah, prick. It was ruthless. Like Gabriel got 3 yards too tight, probably, and that's it. On the halfway line as well, and he's in. Like, it's pretty ruthless.
Doesn't miss those. Okay, so we know the AI is corrupt. So,
so assists. Who's getting the assist award?
do you know what? I couldn't decide on this.
Yeah.
Like, so I've got two options. My heart says Grealish because I really want to do well. So he started well on the assists, but I just don't think Everton will play.
Yeah, he played for Everton now, right?
That expansive. And then I actually have gone for a left field option if he plays enough. I've gone Jacob Murphy.
Really? I suppose he did a lot. He got a lot of assists last season, didn't he? But they've got Elanga now, haven't they? Has he taken his place, Elanga? Or?
He started in the Elanga started in the Champions League ahead of Jacob Murphy, and Jacob Murphy came on for Elanga, but Jacob Murphy set up the goal.
Okay.
He came on.
Yeah. It's a good. It's a more interesting shout than mine. Mine's Saka.
I had Saka down, but then I thought it was boring, and I didn't give you the satisfaction.
I'm not sure. Like, I think he will get a lot of assists. Basically, my justification is last season before he got injured, he was on for breaking the assist record. I think he had like 10 or 11 assists after 10 or 11 games or something like that. So we know he can do it. He's absolutely class. It's just whether he, like, with the big hamstring injury, and he's just had another hamstring injury on the other leg, can he get back to his like full sharpness? Because a number of times you see a player like his hamstring blows up and he's out for 4 months, and that pace that they rely on is gone. Now, the one saving grace for Saka is he's good at loads of stuff. Like, explosive pace is not his. He's not that explosive. It's not his only like quality. So I reckon if Arsenal are going to win the league, which obviously is my prediction, I think Saka needs to set up a shitload of goals, basically.
Yeah. Maduaki's out now as well, isn't he?
Yeah, we have a 1 in, 1 out policy at Arsenal. So the starter gets injured, sub comes on, sub gets injured, starter's back. That's how we deal with things.
Yeah. Well, it stops the conversation for Arteta going, okay, well, Maduaki's done so well. Should he play on that, on that side where Saka plays? But now he doesn't have that conversation. It quiets down a bit. So I actually think it's not terrible news for Arteta.
The thing is, though, like, Saka's just come back from his injury. He's now got to play 90 minutes every week. He's going to do it again. So you heard it here first.
There's a massive prediction. Saka will get injured again.
Arsenal will experience more injuries. AI has gone more straight down the middle with this one. Salah is their prediction for assists, which I think is a good shout again. Next category, Golden Glove. Well, let's be quick on this one because keepers are boring. No one cares.
Yeah, I've gone Raya.
I've got Raya, and actually it's a clean sweep. I've got Raya as well.
You've got the best defence in the league, so
yeah. This is an interesting one. So we're going to do Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. Who have you got?
So again, I've gone for a slightly different option. I've gone for Etitike for Liverpool. How do I say his name?
Hugo Ekitike.
Ekitike.
The K comes first. What did you say? Ekitike.
You just say with fast, people don't realise it.
Yeah. Ekitike. Do you got him?
TK.
For Player of the Season. Okay, that's a good one.
I actually think he's really, really good. But I actually think it should be Haaland, is what I put here. I think Haaland should win it, but I think he will win it because he's new and people aren't as bored by him.
It's also, I think this one is largely dependent on who wins the league, right? Because it's usually a player from the team who win the league.
Yeah,
so,
it's always whoever wins the league.
Yeah. So I've gone Saka because, again, same line of thought. If Arsenal win the league, we need Saka to be the best player in the league. So, AI have gone for Florian Wirtz.
He's been rubbish.
He's been pretty bad so far. I can't remember when I asked AI these questions. I think it was a couple of games ago, but he's not been great so far. But there's no doubt, like, if he adapts, he's going to be good. It's just whether or not he can live with the physical element.
And do you know what? I actually think he's a really good player. But I think the world of social media now is that if you don't have a goal and assist in your first 5 games, that's it. You're rubbish. But actually, I think he's played all right.
Yeah, he's good. I think he's a good player. I think he will settle in, which I really don't want him to because he's plays Liverpool. young player of the season, I've gone Verts. Like, I think he will do well. Young player of the season, I picked Verts. AI has picked Cole Palmer because he is still. So I checked the rules for young player of the season. It's 23 or younger at the start of the season. Sorry.
I've gone
So
Cole
Cole
Palmer
Palmer still
as well.
qualifies.
I've gone Cole Palmer too. But actually, so Cole Palmer, we'll get on to Ballon d'Or later. So Cole Palmer got pretty high up in Ballon d'Or.
Where do you finish?
If you look, I'll find it out for you a little bit later. He finished eighth. He finished eighth in Ballon d'Or. But actually, in that last year, his stats are not great. I think it's like 38 games, 8 goals, something like that. Not that incredible. He went off the ball a little bit second half of the season.
He went he went through a big goal drought, non-penalty goal drought. So he had like 20 odd games, didn't he? Where I think he scored a few penalties, but he was not from open play. He just stopped scoring, which was quite weird. But I think Chelsea are just a very weird club. We'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he's a good shout if he stays fit because he's got like some sort of groin injury, hasn't he, or something?
He got taken off early, in our game.
So I think that's a good shout. The next one is a more fun category, I think. Unexpected hit and flop of the season. Who have you got for both of those?
I think I found unexpected hit to be really hard, but I've gone for Jacob Murphy again. I think he'll do so well. He'll end up getting a shot in the.
Really like Jacob Murphy.
I think he's a lovely boy. I think he's really good. I think because Newcastle in Champions League, I think he'll get a lot of games.
They do need to. They need to use that squad if they're going to get anywhere in either competition, don't they?
Yeah.
And then
flop. It's my big one. I've gone for Isak being my flop.
Okay.
So, but I wrote that before got a red card for celebrating last night, and that opens the door for Isak to come in and then take his place because he was playing so well before. I didn't think Isak was going to get a look in, and then now opens the door.
Do you think? Or did you think Isak was just not going to get into the first 11?
I thought it would be really difficult at the moment to put Isak in when Ekitike is playing so well.
Yeah.
I thought it would be difficult. And I thought he might not hit the ground running straight away. It might take him a little while to adapt. But he did score last night as well, Isak, in the first half.
Yeah. I think he's still getting onto fitness, isn't he? Like, he's had a weird summer in that he's been on protest for like 4 months.
Yeah.
He went to train at his old club, which was weird.
That's weird. Weird
thing. And he's not played a game yet. Is he in the league? Has he made an appearance yet? I don't think. Or
he's not started. He's not started.
But I think it's inevitable he'll get 20 goals. I think he will catch up. I think he'll get up to speed pretty quick. He's too good. He's of all the strikers. Obviously, we were linked with about 4 million strikers in the summer. Of all of the ones in the league. No new signing is a sure thing, right? There's always an element of gambling, especially with attackers, because like we've seen with Vert so far, could completely flop. But Isak is as close to a sure thing as possible, right? Like he's got the physical prowess, he's tall and rangy, he's tricky as well. He's got good feet for a big man. If you're playing podcast bingo, there's a good cliche. But he's got great feet. His technique is great. Like his finishing is just unbelievable. For me, he's an Arsenal player. Like his style of play. I mean, he's not literally an Arsenal player. Metaphorically. I think he will be really good, unfortunately.
Well, I think he's be a flop. So
okay, good shout. So I've gone for unexpected hit. I'm not sure this classes because I think he is really good, and I think everyone starts to know it now. But I've gone for Kenya Bournemouth as the unexpected hit. I think I'd love for us to assign him as much as I like our signings. I think he's awesome. Like he's got that power and two-footedness. Like he can play on either side. I think he's so important for Bournemouth. And I think I know they lost like every single defender at the club in the summer, but keeping hold of him, I think, is the biggest bit of business they'll do this summer. So I've got him as the hit. I think he will score and assist plenty of goals. And my flop, sorry, Man United fans. And actually, I'm contradicting myself because I wanted us to sign him. My flop is Sesko.
I had Sesko as my flop, and then I changed it because I was like, I can't go first podcast. Before we go for flop, I think Semenyo, I think actually a really good choice. I think he does count as an unexpected hit because I think he'll hit. I think he'll hit the numbers this year, which will eclipse what he's done before. I think he was already. Everyone knew he was good.
Yeah.
And he will leave at the end of the season and go to another club.
Surely. He's too good, isn't he? As much as I like Bournemouth.
Yeah, he's great. He's really, really good. But yeah, Sesko so far.
Shit.
So he has been terrible, but there were a couple of glimpses in the Chelsea game where he actually showed some nice touches. So it came to him a bit and it stuck. So sometimes he'll go into his feet, he managed to keep it, hold up the ball, pass it off. His glancing header onto Umbreno so he can run in and get the red card. That was excellent. And that's it.
So far. But there are hints. I know what you mean. And also, like, he has got a decent record. And is he 21? No, he's just turned 22.
22, yeah.
And he is 21 until he turns 22. That's how it works.
I think you're right, actually. That is
how it works. But yeah, I think he's got, similar to Isak, he has got the qualities. And that's why I want us to sign him, because not necessarily what he is now, but what he could be in 2 years' time. My biggest issue and the reason I think he's going to flop is, like, why has he gone to United? Like, they've got they've got such a trophy cabinet of young players whose careers have just been ruined. And I'm not trying to pick on United, although it is hilarious. But like, there's so many young attacking players who've gone there in the last few years and just absolutely flopped and then been loaned out time and time again, or moved on or whatever. I just feel like that's a weird move. Like, really, he should be in like a settled side who are pretty solid, and I thought he'd fit Arsenal really well. That's why I wanted him.
Yeah. Well, it constantly surprises me that we are able to attract players, because if you look at the catalogue, and it'll be good to do an episode on this at one point where we go all the Man United signings post Ferguson, and what did they end up doing? They've all been flops apart from Fernandes.
Yeah,
and you can make arguments. You can say Maguire's done okay. You can say Martinez looks okay, but obviously always injured. I think De Ligt's come in and looked really solid and good, actually. But yeah, other than that, not great.
Slim pickings, isn't it?
Yeah, very slim pickings.
AI then for unexpected hit. They've gone Gyökeres. They've picked him for top scorer. So I suppose that makes sense, because you wouldn't expect him to be top scorer. So if they're picking him for that, I would say that's an unexpected hit. Their flop, again, we're laying into United here. They've gone Mason Mount as a flop. Like, is much expected of him anyway? Like,
he's already a flop. Do you know what? It's always the same line. I'm sick of hearing it on commentary. Every manager picks him, so he must be doing something right. It's like, I don't care.
Playing well, is he?
He's terrible. Like, and Roy Keane always says it. He's always like, "Are you relying on Mason Mount to get Manchester United back where we were?" And I think he's a nice guy. I know him really well, obviously. Good mates.
He came to Benidorm with us.
Yeah, we had a great time. But he's just not good enough, I don't think, in the positions we're playing him, at least. I think if he's in
what is he? Where does he play?
He's supposed to be a 10, right? But what we've been doing is playing him as a false 9 almost in our game. So at the start of the season, we're playing Mason Mount as a false 9. And then Fernandes back in that midfield 3 option. And then Mbeumo and Cunha as the wide forwards. But we're not going to win leagues with Mason Mount as your false 9. I see Amarin's trying to do with the Liverpool and go, right, he could be our Firmino in terms of bringing people into play, nice touches.
Link up
but
stuff.
The only reason every manager presses him is because he does what the manager says and presses well.
Yeah, I feel like he's a bit parched.
He's very parched.
He's a bit like, hey, boss, what do you want me to do, boss? Press, boss. Yeah, I can press, boss.
He's very parched. Yeah. Yeah,
I do like him. I think he's got good qualities. I think he'd be great in an Arteta team. I think Arteta would love him.
You think everyone would be great in an Arteta team?
Well, Arteta's a great coach.
You want half our squad here? You going? I want to Mason Mount. I'll have Sesko.
Oh no, I wouldn't sign him. I just think Arteta would get on with him.
They get well.
Yeah, they'd enjoy a nice beer together.
They'd be friends. Okay.
Okay, so let's do the last one, which is outlandish prediction. I suppose we've already done a few outlandish things, but AI. I love AIs for this, but we'll do that after. What is your outlandish or like unpopular opinion, or because we've done a lot of classic predictions so far. Pick something that is not very expected popular.
Again, I don't know if mine's that outlandish, but I've gone
Okay.
for Amarin to be sacked. That's obviously not outlandish. And replaced by Glasner by the end of the season. There's a bit of theory behind that. So Glasner,
Same system.
but Glasner's actually done it right.
He's good at it.
He's actually quite good at it, and he's done it in the Premier League. The only thing the only caveat to that will be that if Amarin does so badly, the fan base will be so against the system that it'll be quite a bit of suicidal from Jim Ratcliffe to bring in somebody else to play the same system. But I think everyone loves Glasner. And if we sign the players to play the system,
he would be a natural takeover from Amarin.
Yeah,
I can see it. I have heard, you read shit online, and I've seen people saying, "Oh, Glasner, get Glasner in," because he's a bit disgruntled, isn't he, at Palace with the summer they had? They didn't get a lot of the players he wanted.
Gay is going. Gay will go. January or the end of the year. The squad at Palace won't be the same by the end of the year, so it makes sense for Glasner to move.
And he's only got a year left, and his contract expires next summer, so it's a good shout.
Yeah,
but you'll have to pay you'll end up paying 15 million for a guy who's going to be out without a job in 8 months anyway.
We've turned the corner. We beat Chelsea.
Amarim's at the wheel.
Yeah.
Bournemouth to finish in the top 6, because I think Iraola is an excellent coach. I think they've replaced the defence relatively well.
Yeah, they have.
And they kept hold of Semenyo. Semenyo. So, so I think they could be top 6 shots this season. Okay, so last one, AI's outlandish prediction. I think this is great. I love it. They are predicting that City will finish outside the top 4.
It's got some merit. It's got some merit.
It's got legs, It's got legs.
Okay. We were going to go into the games. I think we should just discuss for a second, is Pep finished? Is Pep on his now?
I think he's finished for about the last 2 years. I don't know. I would say that, have you ever seen him play that way in the second half against Arsenal? Has he ever done that before against anyone? I think he's just in the life cycle of a team where you get ups and downs and stuff. I think they're just in a rebuild now, aren't they? And this season is going to define whether he'll carry on or whether it'll be oh, fuck this, I don't need this.
Yeah, so I think Pep's always controlled games, and now his tactics aren't going well. Mostly because in the Premier League now, if you're marking or you're defending, pretty much every club is going man to man, right? So instead of doing the zonal look after your zones, it's right, we're man to man now, we're in defense. Pretty much everyone settles in a 4-4-2 almost formation and goes man to man, which makes it really difficult for Pep to draw teams onto them and play through the lines, I think, a little bit more, because the only way you can do that is if you lose your man, and it's a little bit harder to do that. So I think Pep's tried to find solutions to that. I think in the first couple of games you saw, they went really aggressive with the press, almost more aggressive than they were before. And Pep was like, well, no, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to go double down on what I was doing before. And it didn't really work. And they got exploited. And then against you, it's well, we can't press Arsenal because it's really hard to press Arsenal. You're the most difficult team to press. So he got heads, and then he shat himself and went, okay, we've got to try and hang on to this lead, which goes against all of Pep's principles, because Pep's principles is I need the ball as close to the opposition goal as possible, because that way there's less chance of me conceding. He went against that and went, we just need to defend. I'm going to go to a back 5. And he just withdrew. He just brought on the pressure. And again, this is a conversation which would change if Martinelli didn't score a last-minute goal. Because if Pep had won 1-0, we'd all go, Pep's a genius. He's changed the game again. He's happy to do pragmatic approach and good on him. Whereas now, because Martinelli scored that goal, and obviously the start's not been great, you go in, well, Pep's fumbling about looking for answers here, and nothing he's tried so far has worked.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know whether City are good or not. Like, you've seen them tear Wolves apart, but then you've seen Wolves lose. They lost all 5. So, like, was that City being good or is that Wolves being shit? I don't know. And then they got, they were at home against Spurs. They got their annual defeat to Spurs out of the way.
Yeah.
They come up against Brighton, who were very good on the ball, and they were 1-0 up, weren't they, in that game? And they kind of got the last 20 minutes or so, what's his face? Hertzler made 4 changes, and City couldn't live with it. They didn't adapt in time, and they conceded twice and lost the game. And yeah, against us, I've never seen them play like that. Like, rewind 3 years, that's how we're playing against City, because they're better than us. And, if we had a lead, we'd be parking the bus as well. So it's weird for it to have switched around so quickly in a short space of time. But they've got all these new signings, and I don't know if they're any good. I don't know if they're going to gel. I don't think Pep's ever been great at not spending loads of money. I think his best teams have just been like, he either inherits the best players in the world, and I'm not saying he's not a good coach. He's one of the best coaches of all time, regrettably.
Clip that up.
But he's like, I'm not sure, like players like Cherky and Reinders.
Reindeer looks great.
Reindeer man. I think like they're unknown quantities in this league. And I think especially like Cherky, I think he's such a maverick talent that he needs that support. I don't know whether Pep's going to bring that out of him or whether he could absolutely flop. I think City, of like all of the team, or one of all the big teams at least, are the hardest to predict. Because I don't know, are they any good or not? They've lost so many key players in the last 12 months, 18 months. That it's just like starting again, isn't it? And I don't know whether Pep's got the appetite to do it, because he's been there for fucking ages, isn't he?
Well, the players have always signed have always been like system players, like really good in the system. And then I think now, like you look at someone like Jeremy Doku, he can't play in the system. You basically give Doku the ball and he just runs like mad at the defense.
To be fair, he was really, I would have given him player of the match and stuff. He was really good. I've never seen him play that well before.
And he's like, for me, he's an impact player for Pep rather than starting, but Pep is starting him. And I just don't think. Look at Foden as well. He had one good game. Foden, I think, so far this year, and the rest of it's been okay, pretty average. So, do you know what, AI? That could be
good shout. I think
could be a good prediction. We're all hoping AI gets that one right.
Come on.
The City fans.
I would love, and then also you've got the 115 charges hanging over his head as well, haven't you? So, but we all know that's never going to come to anything. So. It'll be 2063 and it'll be like, oh, I wonder what the outcome of those charges is going to be.
Yeah. I don't know enough about, when they settled outside of court very recently for the, I don't know enough about, let's talk about on the podcast, but you just go, well, it sets a precedent, doesn't it? Like, they can bypass that. Yeah.
Well, I was hearing talk of like, have they agreed to compromise on this one to accept like a lesser punishment for the other 115 acts of fraud they've committed or whatever it is, but you just don't know. And also that they're never going to disclose it, are they? Because everyone's going to look bad and the Premier League will look shit and City will look shit. So they'll settle it out of court. There'll be a big fine or something and everyone will move on. And it'll be completely unfair. And we'll never get our Premier League title.
That game was Guardiola's lowest possession stats ever in a game.
Stick that up your pipe, Pep.
Which is insane. Also, Arteta's the first manager to go 5 games unbeaten against Pep.
He is.
So.
Legend.
Fair play to Arteta there. But was that game there for the taking for Arsenal? I know you scored a last-minute equaliser, but it felt like you could have won that game.
Yeah, so like I obviously listen to a lot of Arsenal podcasts, who I won't shout out here, but they are really good. But the general like fan feeling was obviously delighted to have scored a last minute winner, but everyone was still massively pissed. Like that game was absolutely there for the taking, and to have signed all these great new players and solved so many problems in the transfer market, squad problems, to then just like bench half of them. Or I know Madueke started, but that's because Saka's been out injured. It just felt a little bit conservative. And I know Arteta said nobody was asking about the midfield three that he started when we beat Bilbao, but I think they're very different games. Like opening night of the Champions League, Bilbao had been out of it for like 11 years or 11 or 12 years or something. So like they're massively up for it. Their new stadium's like a cauldron, and we were going into this very heated atmosphere. I think the experienced heads of like Trossard and Marino there would work well, and they did work well. Obviously, Trossard as a sub and Marino from the start. But at home against City, you've got Eze, the returning prodigal son, as he feels, sat on a bench, and that would just starting him would give the fans immediately like getting the seats and want to watch him play. And when he came on, like the second half, we absolutely dominated them, and he obviously set up Martinelli's goal. So I think he got the lineup wrong. I think putting Eze and Saka on at half time, I think if a manager ever makes two subs at half time, he's basically saying without saying, yeah, I was wrong. But he can't come out and say I was wrong, because then what does that do to Marino and like Trossard, the players that he chose to start? Because then it's like him publicly saying, I shouldn't have started you. So I think the actions speak louder than the words, and I think we did miss the chance to beat them, because they're definitely there for the taking.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely started too conservative, which is becoming a theme for Arteta, and I think he needs to watch that a little bit now, because even coming into the season, it was like, okay, you need to loosen the reins a little bit and let the team lead. Exactly, and it hasn't quite happened. I will give him some credit though, because I do think he's set up with the team to play over Man City's press, which is why Marino's there, because he's a big tall boy and bring people down. And Man City didn't do that. So then I think he spotted that, okay, there is a chance here to take control of it a little bit more. And was the Madueke substitution forced? He's injured. So
obviously.
So obviously that, another injury on the your physios are amazing.
Board.
Yeah. They're never going to outwork your physio.
Easy boys.
So I do think he tried to change it, but again, I think as an Arsenal fan and everyone else looking in, you do need to go, this isn't the Man City of old. Let's go there and let's go for it from the start. And he didn't do that.
I think his defence as well, one thing we've kind of overlooked, because we've got such a big squad now, if we had Ødegaard and Havertz available, we would be playing very differently. Like, they would both be starting. Ødegaard would be right 8. I think Havertz would start over Gyökeres centre forward. And that will change the way we play. Like, those two players are very connective, very relationshipy. They get us up the pitch, and like without them, relationshipy, yeah. But without them, like we just didn't have. We had 2 opportunities to create chances, Madueke and set pieces, because we got no one sort of pressing the ball. Marino doesn't really do that. Rice carries it. He's not really like a deep lying passer. Zubamendi's more like the metronome, the midfield metronome. So we don't really have anyone getting the ball up the pitch. So it's literally like, let's give it to Madueke and get him to hope he beats 3 men and gets the ball in the box, or wins a corner and then we get a set piece and set piece FC again.
Yeah.
So I think if we had Ødegaard and Havertz available, which hopefully we will, I think Ødegaard's back or coming back. If he's back, I think we play differently, and I think we'd win that game.
Yeah, I probably do think that as well. Even though I do think there are still some question marks on Ødegaard, because last season wasn't at his best, and the first game of the season, which obviously me and you watched together, Man United Arsenal, he was. I still think he's probably one of your best players. I came down to visit you. How do you not remember this?
Oh, this season, right?
This season, yes. No, this season,
Did
first
we?
game of the season. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. When we won 1-0. Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
remember it well.
undeserved. But Odegaard was probably one of your better players, could beat a man, but he didn't deliver the final pass as well as he should have done. So there are still some question marks whether Odegaard is going to be the magic key to unlocking everything for you.
Yeah, his form last season was like patchy at best. But I mean, by all accounts, he had a pretty poor season and he still got 16 goal contributions. Like, it's not dreadful. It's not like, obviously, I'm not saying that's good. He can do better. But he had a pretty bad ankle injury at the start of last season. He was out for 10 weeks or so. And what game? I think it was against Chelsea. He came back against Chelsea last season and he played like every single minute. And he played every single minute of every single game after that. Because last season, we got no one else. Like, he is our only creative player. Obviously, this season, the hope is we can pick and choose the games to use him because we've got Nwaneri, we've got other creative players.
The list goes on.
But we've got more ways of attacking. We've got Eze who can cover. We've got wide players who can create. He can get the ball out to more options on the wing. So I think if he's not absolutely flogged to death, his form will pick up. I just think he got a bad injury, which obviously you get out of form and you've got to build up your fitness again. But he didn't have chance to build up his fitness. It's like, you're back, you're playing every minute, and that's it. And I think I'm hoping this season will not be the case. And we'll find out because he's back now, isn't he? So let's see.
Yeah, because if you win that, you're only 3 points behind Liverpool, and it is game on. Then the 5 points already feels like you're chasing. You're not out of it. It's silly to say you're out of it already, but it does feel.
With the start we've had, if we beat Newcastle, it's a solid start, in my opinion. But I think we need the City result makes the Newcastle one like a must win. I think we've got to win that game.
Must win already. Nice.
I know. 6 games into the season.
It's madness. You're going to blow your nose on the podcast. You'd fancy that then?
I'm swiping my nose. I've got a cold, yeah? I've got a child in nursery.
This man always has a cold.
At least I haven't got a hanky out, so.
Yes. It's true. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say on City and Arsenal?
No, I think that's kind of it. I think that's the main points. Trust the process.
Trust the process. Process every year so far means you're second.
Finish second. Should we move on quickly to...
I'll just ask one last question on that.
Okay.
So the conversation before going into the season was Arteta has to win something. If he doesn't win something, then he should be sacked. I don't think that's right, but what do you feel like as an Arsenal fan?
So I think lots of people are saying he has to win a trophy or he should be sacked. But those same people are saying Liverpool are favourites for the league. Like, those two things can't be true. If Liverpool are favourites, then they have to win. And we're second favourites. So we should finish second. I think it's nonsense. Like, just because you finish second doesn't mean you're not good and you're not doing a good job. If you offered any Arsenal fan second now, they're not going to take it. But like, finishing, the context of how you finish second is the important thing. If we finish second on 70 points and we're 20 points behind Liverpool, questions are going to be asked. Fair enough. But if the season before that, if we finish second on 89, 90 points, like, how much more can you do? You're going to sack a guy for getting 90 points in the Premier League. Like, I think we've got to be close. At the most minimum, we've got to be close. But like, with the signings we've made, Arteta's got this thing of like, he'll look at the last season and he'll be like, right, what was the problem? And then he'll just fix that in the transfer market. So go back to that season where we first finished second. We were great. We were like flying forward, but we were open. So in the summer, what do? I'll buy £105 million Declan Rice, please. And I'll shore up the midfield so we don't get run through. Last season, our problem was squad's not big enough, too many injuries. What does he do? Buys a fuckload of players, like good players as well. He spent a lot of money. So he addresses the thing that went wrong the season before. And I can't see the signings we've made, I think, are excellent. I don't think there's any position we've not addressed. Like, I could pick 2 players in every position across our 11 and be pretty happy with them. So I don't think you can do any more squad-wise. And I think he's a good coach, so I think we're going to win the league. Simple. Move on.
He solves every problem, and you still don't win.
This season, he solves everything.
Let's see what happens at the end of the season then. Okay, let's give some quick thoughts on United Chelsea. I think we want to be moving on. Mad game.
Mental, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I love the torrential rain and the ball, like, you know, when they pass it and they're pinging it around, but it just slows down. It's like watching FIFA. I love that.
It is. Yeah, it is.
So good.
Yeah. Do you know what? It was almost annoying that they got sent off so early. And I'm going to put some context around this.
Okay.
We came out of the traps like super quick, like really aggressive, like flying at them, which I have seen this do a couple of times this season anyway, and then we drop off. But we came out really quick and it was really, really good. Obviously, the build-up play to the red card was really good as well. But then you get sent off, and then it's a totally different game, which then we have to win. If you don't win that, then it's difficult. And then it goes all crazy and Casemiro gets sent off, which is a whole different story. But as a Man United fan, there's nothing really that we can take from that game to go, okay, yeah, the Amorim is getting more out of the players, because it was such a mad game and there were circumstances which made it like there's no evidence to take from this. The next two games are the most important.
Who have you got next?
So we've got Brentford, I think, next.
Okay.
And then Sunderland.
4-0 at home, hopefully.
Yeah, Brentford and Sunderland. So if we win those two games, Amorim, by the way, has never won two games back-to-back since he's been United manager. So
two?
He's never won a back-to-back games.
In the league or at all?
At all. Jesus
Christ. Have you seen the guy growing his hair out? You seen that guy?
Yeah, he's going to be... He's got really long hair.
I feel really bad for him.
Yeah. So I think it was frustrating because it was like, wow, I would have liked to have seen us play well. Whenever we win a game, there's always a caveat to it. So like, there's never anything that's like, oh, that was a really good performance.
Playing against 10 men for 85 minutes, kind of, it's like how can you judge accurately how well you played because you've got a numerical, although it was only the first half you played with 10 men, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Against 10 men.
Yeah, and then Casemiro was silly and got a second yellow.
I don't think the second yellow was a yellow, but I still think he's dumb. Like, didn't need to make. I think the first challenge didn't need to make. The second one was just like, you're giving the referee an excuse. And I won't get started on referees, but like, if you even give them a little like taster, dangle the carrot even a little bit, they will just send you off. Like, because they just want to be involved, don't they?
For me, that's Amorim's fault. You know, Casemiro, you're looking at the weather, you're looking at the pitch. He's going to dive in at some point, and when he's on the yellow.
So many like fucking kamikaze slides.
Yeah,
Citarella did a great one in the second half. People just like whizzing around.
It's great. Just knee slide.
Yeah,
you need to manage that and take them off. Every other Premier League manager would have taken them off. Arteta's got a rule: you're on a yellow, you're off. If you've got Slot does it as well. On a yellow, you're off. Yeah. You can't risk a game that's so important by keeping him on the pitch, in my opinion.
In Amorim's defence, which is not my usual take, but you'd think a 34-year-old, 34-year-old, 5-time Champions League winner, you'd think he'd be able to like manage himself through that game. But
it's Casemiro. He does it all the time. Like, you can't help but buy into the challenge. It's what he does best. It's great, but you know he's going to give a professional foul at some point. And so that was frustrating.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to come on to was Garnacho. And
oh yeah, did he was he booed?
Yeah,
I missed the end of the game, so I didn't really see much of him.
He got booed massively. So when he was warming up on the side of the pitch, he was getting booed, and he was about to come on, and then to blow the full-time whistle and stuff. And yeah, he was getting booed a lot. So we've obviously, when he was at United, we did the Cristiano Ronaldo chant for Garnacho, Viva Garnacho. Okay. And then now that he's gone to Chelsea, we had the Carlos Tevez chant when he went to Man City. Garnacho has now got that chant as well. So it's never nice to see somebody get absolutely destroyed on the side of a pitch. But what he did was like he disrespected Man United. You know, he's wearing Villa shirts and all this sort of stuff.
That was weird. Like he just needs like his manager or agent or whatever, just take his fucking phone off him. Like, stop posting on social media and just like get on with like create a like a private account or whatever. Call it something else if you have to be on social media, but just don't post it. Like wearing the Villa shirt. Like, how come on, man. He needs better advisors, surely.
Yeah.
Take his
He
phone
does.
off him. Grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Grow up. You grow up.
You got
But the disappointing thing about the Garnacho thing is Ahmad's now come off Instagram. So Ahmad and Garnacho swapped shirts at the end of the game.
okay.
Now, I don't know if this happened for sure, but Ahmad's quite like outspoken on social media and stuff. Like he's quite funny the way he talks and stuff like that. But he's come off social media, and I think that's because the United fan base has gone in on him for swapping shirts with Garnacho, which isn't right. Like
It's a bit petty, isn't it?
they're probably mates. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, frustrating.
They're an unforgiving bunch, those Man United fans who live in London.
No, usually I think we're quite a respectful fan base. Like we don't usually crucify people unless they deserve it and take the piss. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, unless they're Carlos Tevez. Yeah.
I mean, you can't welcome to Manchester.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was a weird game. I don't think we could take much from it, and the next two games are absolutely vital. I think if we don't win either of those two games, I think Anamarin still gets sacked.
Yeah, you should be winning both of those, really.
Yeah, and if we do, we're back, baby.
Top of the league.
Gemini was right.
Yeah, fourth place.
Cool. You had a few points you wanted to make about the rest of the Prem.
I guess I'll touch on well, I mean, mentioned Spurs earlier. Ugh. But I think annoyingly they might. I know they only drew, but they played really well, and Frank's just like sorted them out really. So I think they've got a good shot for top five. They're one of their rivals, top five, Chelsea. They're just weird, right? I don't think Chelsea are a football club anymore. I think they are just a factory that trades players, because every transfer window there's like 10 players in, 10 players out, and it's you think of the players they've signed, good players like Gittins and João Pedro and stuff, but then the players they've sold, Madueke, who's the centre for Nico Jackson that they sold. It's like if you weigh those up, have they significantly improved or changed or got better or worse? It's like, isn't it just the same thing? And I was thinking, from a manager's perspective, how on earth do you build buy-in from like trust and buy-in with your players when you've got like 700 players? And I just think Maresca's a very weird, like he deals with it really weird, because he just goes, imagine coming back from your summer holiday and you go into training and Maresca's just like, nope, get out, go and train over there. And he's like, the way he deals with it is like, well, I'm going to just pretend I've only got 25 players and I'm not even going to talk to the other 7 or 8 players who I can't fit in the squad, and I'm just going to completely isolate them. Because then, the guys who are in the squad, sure, would they not be thinking like, well, if he stops fancying me for a starting place, am I going to be over there training on the kid pitch? Like, how do you build trust and, a relationship with a player when you're literally just cutting them out? I think he's a very weird dude.
I think
That's Chelsea.
I think he has to do that. I don't think you can have that bloated of a squad and keep them all in there. And then, because what will end up happening is obviously half the squad isn't playing. They're saying all this stuff to the rest of the teammates, going, I should be playing Maresca's, this, that, and the other. You have to just go, right, I can't have that negativity in the club. You need to go over there and not be part of this. And it also, the other 25 are in the squad. I don't mind a bit of, you're either in the squad, otherwise you are going over there. Like there's a bit of fear factor there. I don't mind that as much. I think he is weird. I think it is circumstance of the Chelsea ownership and what they're doing. I agree with you. I don't think Chelsea is a football club anymore. They are not designed to ever win the Premier League ever again in this current ownership. They are designed to compete, get top 4, and trade players and get selling value for those players. That is what they're going to be doing constantly.
It must be such a weird, as a fan, it must be so weird, because like in 20 years' time, they're like legends. They're going to have like their top performer is going to have like 75 apps for Chelsea. He's going to have started 75 games and then he's off because he's played 2 seasons and that's it. Like, how do you build like a legacy at a club? And for a club who have a history of, I hate to mention them, I don't really even want to mention them, but people like Frank Lampard and John Terry, who were like how many games did they play for Chelsea? 600 odd appearances. To go from that 10, 15 years ago to now, where you've got like, oh yeah, you play one season, then we'll just sell you, and then we'll just buy someone else. How do you like the players that play for you? How do you build that like relationship with the fans? Because you're just in, and then you're out, and then you're in, and then you're out. It's so much churn. I don't understand how. I don't know. It must be weird to support that kind of club.
I think
it's
a worrying trend of what could happen to lots of football clubs.
Yeah.
If the multi-club model and
it's bad, that is
American owners keep coming in, because it will change into more of a, already is a business, but the fans want to be there to see the moments and see the trophy wins, whereas the business people want to see,
money in the bank.
Profit. Money in the bank, baby. So yeah, I think it's a conversation for another episode, but I'd love to do an episode on, has the Premier League got better or worse? And in my opinion, it's got worse. As a product. So yeah.
Yeah.
Frustrating. Cool. Let's do a bit on the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
I'm conscious of time. So Ousmane Dembele, winner of Ballon d'Or. We spoke about this before, and I was like, really? Dembele won Ballon d'Or? And then you showed me his stats. I was like, okay, yeah, they're pretty good.
I think the one like asterisk is like plays in France.
He did win the Champions League, though.
He did, of course, yeah, and he was great in the Champions League. Annoyingly for us, but he like a lot of the trophies he's won like the French league title, the cup, the Super Cup in France, and it's like PSG don't really have to get out of second gear to win those trophies, do they? So there is a bit of a caveat around the quality of the league he plays in. But in terms, he can't control that. Well, I suppose he could move clubs, couldn't he? But he's putting up pretty ridiculous numbers. And the fact that he carries it over to the Champions League and does the same thing there probably proves that he is pretty good. So,
yeah, it's almost crept up on me, Ballon d'Or. I wasn't really thinking about, who should
I didn't know what was going on.
Usually you go, oh yeah, this player's going to get it. Like there's conversation around it, but I didn't even think about it. So let's just reel off the top 10 to people. Oh no. Ousmane Dembele, number 1. Yamal, number 2. Vitinha, 3. Salah, 4. Rafinha, 5. Hakimi, 6. Mbappe, 7. Cole Palmer, 8th. Donnarumma, 9. And Nuno Mendes, 10th. A little shout out and a little honorary mention to ex-Man United, Scott McTominay. 19th in Ballon d'Or.
Fucking hell. I remember slagging him off to you so badly, saying he's a rugby player playing football. And now he's the 19th best player in the world.
Turns out he's fucking amazing.
Just had to leave Man United.
Yeah. Is there anybody you would change in that Ballon d'Or? Any you think should get more recognition? Anyone who shouldn't even be close to that top 10?
I mean, not massively. I think I don't know how Salah's not in the top 3. I guess it's done a lot on how much you win, isn't it? Right, like so how many trophies you win, and he won. Did he win 1?
Yeah, he won the Premier League. So yeah,
was the AFCON's this year, isn't it? So he hasn't won that. So he's won the Premier League. So I guess like the 3 above him have won more trophies. But in terms of like importance to the team you're in, if Salah was injured, like take Salah out of Liverpool last season, they don't win that trophy. They don't win a lot of the games they won without Salah. I know he cooled off a little bit at the end of the season, but he was on for like an absolute all-timer in terms of goals and assists in the Premier League last season. I think the reason he's 4th and not 1st is if you flip his season round, so if he'd finished the season in the form he started it, he'd probably be winning it. Because he's scoring every game and assisting every game. Because he dipped towards the end of the season, it's like recency bias, and it's like, oh, he's cooled off a little bit now. Whereas Dembele finishes the season by winning the Champions League. Like, I think so. I don't really mind that he wins it. I think Yamal won the young player, didn't he? The best young player.
Yeah,
so he can have that. That's fair enough. He can have that one. Dembele can have the Ballon d'Or. I don't think there's anyone I think is massively omitted though.
No. A slight conversation for me is that hardly anybody in the Premier League, I know Roger won it obviously a couple of years ago, but I think hardly anyone in the Premier League tends to win the Ballon d'Or. There aren't that many people who've been in the Premier League at the time who then gone on to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't really thought that.
And I don't really know why that is. I think before, every good player in the Premier League would end up at Barcelona, Real Madrid, and then they'll go on to win the Ballon d'Or. Whereas now the Premier League's such a huge product that all the best players and all the best managers want to come play here.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll start to see more English teams win.
It's weird how like the money we spend compared to how many Ballon d'Ors are in the league. There's not many. I'm trying to think, who was the last English player to win the Ballon d'Or?
Last English player.
Who? Someone won it since then?
Yeah.
The fans were screaming at the screen, it's this guy, it's this guy.
Yeah. What was that, Tom? Our one fan. What are you saying?
Bring him. Get him on.
Yeah, we'll bring him, get him on. Yeah, I think it must have been Owen, mustn't it?
Was it Owen?
Yeah.
I can't think of an English player since then.
Yeah.
Maybe Harry Kane would have won one if he'd left Spurs earlier.
Yeah.
He's not
Again,
gonna win it.
should have been top 10, shouldn't he? I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of unlucky.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, what we decided before this pod was that we would both get a question for each other that we've not heard of before. We haven't rehearsed this. You would ask me the question, I'd have to answer it. So you ask me one question, I ask you one question, and we'll see what happens from there. You go first.
So my question, sort of genuine, sort of tongue-in-cheek, but I'm interested to hear what you say. So, from the outside looking in, United are a total mess. And I think from the inside looking in, they're also a total mess. But they seem to be stuck in this like spiral of, hire the new guy, back him heavily, spend a lot of money, and he sort of doesn't really perform. They kind of hang on to him for almost too long, having committed already, so much money. And then he stays too long. He might stay like through a transfer window, and then early in the next season he gets sacked, and the new guy comes in, he gets backed, system change, player change, all this crap. If I ring up Jim Radcliffe and said, Big Jim, you're out, get out. So I'm going to make you, what's the owner, director? I'll make you the owner of Manchester United Football Club. How do you fix this spiral of Man United's problem?
For me, like we tried to do it with Dan Ashworth, and I don't know what happened there, but obviously it failed dramatically. But the Dan Ashworth is the most important signing in Manchester United. Every single successful club has a way of playing from the top, and then it filters down through. So again, the transfer strategy comes from the top. It doesn't come from the manager. The manager obviously has a say in who comes in and has got a veto on a yes or no. But he needs to go, well, this is our style of play. We're Manchester United. This is our style of play. This is how we think we're going to be successful. We then need to identify the players to be successful in those positions and identify a manager who's going to play that way and, have that success. What we've tried to do constantly since Ferguson's gone is that relied too much on trying to do exactly what Ferguson did, who ran it from top to toe and go, right, you're the next manager, you're the next hot thing, take us forward. And we've tried everything. You've gone for some of the best managers the world has seen. So like Van Gaal's a bit of a joke in England now, but he was one of the best managers in the world. Jose Mourinho, one of the best managers in the world. Okay, well, that doesn't work. We'll try the new young one. So Ten Hag.
Solskjaer.
I hate Ten Hag. Solskjaer.
I love Ten.
I love Solskjaer. And do you know what now? Every Man United manager you look at, you go, okay, he's rubbish. We need to replace him. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And we finished second with Solskjaer. Like we would kill to finish second now.
Yeah.
So it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I think we're now at a point, which I think is really scary for Man United, where expectations are the lowest they've ever been. And I think once your expectations as a fan and as a club is top half's okay, that's really damaging and worrying, because actually, even if we're not there, we're not anywhere near there. We need to have those high expectations to go, okay, we shouldn't be here, we should be there, and this is how we're going to get there. Whereas I think this year, for the first time in a long time, the fan base and the club are probably going, if we finish top 10, it's okay, which I think is worrying.
The big jump on last season if you do.
Yeah. Tottenham, they finished 17th. They're fucking flying.
Playing devil's advocate a little bit, do you not think the weight of expectation on a club the size of United is crushing some of these managers and just absolutely ruining like their plans or their thinking, or I don't know?
I think it's the media expectations of it, right? Because Manchester United is in whatever happens is always in the news, and everything is highlighted. Every mistake, everything that happens is a major disaster. Like every week on Sky Sports News, you've got Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Carragher just ripping into Manchester United. And
do you think that the ex-pros are helping or making it worse?
I think it's their job. I don't think they're helping or making it worse. I think it's their job to do that. I just think the nature of what Manchester United was before and what the media is now means that they're always going to talk about it because it gets the most views. So it's always going to be the case. You're not going to change that. But it's definitely damaging the club and the players more so, because you can't make a mistake or not hit the ground running and then everyone's worried about, like Sesko. Look at Sesko. Everyone's worried about Sesko now because he's not scored, a goal. And
The 007 is on the way.
I know. And if you were at another club, for instance, then it wouldn't be so bad. So like again, like Eze. So let's say if we signed Eze, right? The expectation is that he starts, he hits the ground running straight away. Whereas Arteta doesn't start him in the big game. And yeah, it's a talking point, but it's not the world's biggest deal. And they're not slating that decision as much. So I don't know. I just think it's a massive melting pot. But it needs to come down from the top down to change it. And I think we made a mistake with Amorim in terms of the system and gone, we're back in the system. Because they tried to fix it, because every manager we've gone, we can't see the style of play. So they've gone to the extreme and gone, well, we know this manager's got a style of play, so we're going to try and implement that. But it's not.
It's a bit of the Ange Postecoglou effect in that he just plays all out attack. And it's like, well, it doesn't work in every game, but he's like, well, that's how I play. It's just who we are, mate. And it's like, Ruben Amorim is committed to this formation, whether it works or not. But actually, his job is to manage those players to win games. So this is one of the things I love about Arteta. If something doesn't work, like, he'll try something else. Like, he's not going to the criticism Arsene Wenger had was like, we were small and technical, but weak and, easily shoved about. Because he was like, oh yeah, set pieces and corners and stuff, that's not real pure football. We play this way. Arteta's like, I will score a goal any way we can. So if we're tall, let's do set pieces. If we're technical, let's play through them. If we can't beat the press, let's go over it. He'll do like whatever it takes, whatever we need to do. So he will transform our style to get the win. Whereas Amorim is like, we play with 2 10s and a 9 and wing backs, sorry. And it's like, what if that doesn't work? What's your plan B?
I don't blame Amorim for that. Like, I blame the person who brought him in, because that's what you're getting. That is what he does. He's a system manager. He plays that system. So you're not expecting anything less. And I understand for Amorim why he wouldn't change that system, because if he changes the system and it still doesn't work, that affects his long-term future in the game. Whereas now I think he protects himself as well by saying, look, this is my system, and maybe it just didn't work I didn't have the players. He can make that excuse and go somewhere else and be fine. But whoever brought Amorim in, yeah, I think that's where the mistake lies.
Yeah. Good answer.
So my question for you is, do you think Arteta has changed Arsenal's style of play in a positive, neutral, or negative way since Wenger?
Since Wenger or Unai?
So since Wenger. So
Okay.
I'm giving you that context simply because Arsenal's identity was a bit like Man United's identity, fast wingers. Arsenal's identity was, and you just mentioned it before, very technical players, small technical players. Obviously, Arteta is nothing like that. So has he changed Arsenal's style of play? In not looking at results, style of play in a positive, negative, or neutral way.
I was going to say, if you're looking at results only, positive, because it works and we've got more points, so that's good. In terms of like, is it easy on the eye? No, like watching a flowing Arsene Wenger team is way better than watching stodgy, 1-0 with a score and a corner goal. But ultimately, like, if you ask me whether I'd rather watch us chop teams apart but lose 3-2 or win 1-0. Like, I'll take the 1-0, thanks. If we were, my dream would be to win the Premier League with 38 wins, 1-0, only scoring corners. Everyone would be so angry. Everyone would lose their minds. But, like, if it works, if it gets the results, fans won't care. Like, I know people want to watch attacking football, but if you keep winning, no one will care. I think the style of football is kind of Arteta's like dream, I think, is to have a game where we have 100% possession, like, and the opposition have 0 shots and 0 shots on target and create 0 XG and all that stuff. Because his idea is like control. He wants, if we've got the ball, they can't score. If we don't let them shoot, they can't score, barring like stupid own goals or whatever. I would love to see him. He's put together like this incredible defense. I think our defense is probably the best in Europe. I think you can make a case for that. And I'd like him to like let those good defenders do the defending. It's almost like he doesn't want to face shots, so he's like, let's set up in a way where we limit the shots, and it works a lot of the time because you look at the XG that we concede. A lot of games are like 0.2, 0.3. We hardly give any chances away, but we sacrifice our ability to score more goals. So I would love him to, you've got some of the best players in the world at the back. Gabriel and Saliba, what a partnership that is. Declan Rice in front of them or Zubimendi in front of them. Our fullbacks are class. Trust them to do the defending when the opposition get through us. Let them, one-on-one. Yuri and Timber against Vinicius Junior last season, he didn't have a kick. Miles Lewis-Skelly marked Rodrigo out of the game at the Bernabeu. He's an 18-year-old kid. Like, they're world-class defenders. Let them do the defending. So accept that we're going to, concede more chances, and create more stuff. Go forward more. Let your wide players like stay high and wide. Don't make them track back all the time so they can double up on the opposition winger or whatever. Leave the striker high. Let's not get Kai Havertz back on the edge of our box, defending when teams are breaking on us. I would love to see that. I'd love to see Erdogan and Eze in like a twin central midfield thing with Rice or Zubimendi behind them, because you're going to create so many chances. You put 2 technical players like that who have an eye for a pass. So the style is not better, but it leads to the results. So like, I'm not going to complain.
That was a very long-winded way of saying I want to see better football.
No, I want to see us win shit. So like, if that means the football's boring, it's boring. And for the record as well, I don't think it's boring. Like, I am glued I cannot look away when Arsenal play. I love watching Arsenal. I think we play good stuff. It's just this. There is when we start more defensively minded players, there's it ignites the fire, doesn't it? And if we'd have won 2-1 against Man City, no one would be saying anything about Arteta being defensive. They'd say, "Oh, it's a master stroke. He's brought those finishers on, and he's turned the game around, and it's gone exactly to plan." Or against Liverpool, if Szoboszlai doesn't wang in a 32-yard free kick in off the post, they'd be saying, "Job done. Point away at your main title rivals. That's the result you need. Move on." His record in the big games is incredible, but like the Liverpool game, everyone suddenly thinks, "Oh, he's afraid of the big games." Like, he hasn't lost one until that one for 22 games. Like, he's transformed the club, so it's hard to be angry at that.
For the listener at home, you might have heard Arsenal's Mike Grantham's baby in the background.
Oh, could you hear it?
He's got a newborn baby. He's crying. And
he's not newborn. He's 3 months now.
He's sat in there recording the podcast. What a terrible dad.
Yeah, I'll go tell him to keep it down.
That's the first episode of Factor 50 podcast done.
Complete. We're only like 54 minutes over what we were gonna do.